Hey, hi, hello everybody. Welcome back or welcome, you beautiful person. This is now the Creative Potato. And if you've been watching the changes or you follow me on social media, you notice that on New Year, all of my social media channels and platforms, whatever you want to call it, changed from the sarcastic artist to Creative Potato. I decided that it was time for a rebrand for myself, and that it was time to reinvent some things that I'm working on. So there are a couple of reasons why I decided for this big change. It wasn't just to, generally rebrand. And with this video, instead of staring at my hands next to a picture as usual, because I know that's pretty boring, we'll be going through videos that I was able to record as much as I could during my free time. So I hope you enjoy that. There'll be some speed draws and there'll be some, vlog videos, basically everything that I could take as much as I could. My time was very limited, so I tried as best I could. So a couple reasons for the change in the name. I already had my first comment on Instagram once I changed my name to, oh my gosh, you changed your name. There has been so much going on my side that I haven't been able to get to any sort of editing. The reasons for this change. One of the major reasons I decided for the change in the sarcastic artist is that it makes it easier to put all my socials together when promoting my work. One of the main issues that I realized was that my name was way too long, the sarcastic artist. Writing that over and over again and then trying to stamp that in some sort of pretty way on each of my artworks that I posted on any of my social platforms, it was just getting way too much to put together. And then when I realized when you typed in my name that lots of people in some way, shape, or form already had the sarcastic artist. So it was really hard to plug in that same username in different platforms on my social channels. So like Facebook, I had to go with my nickname Danny and put sarcastic Danny so that just people know that it was the same me because somebody already had the sarcastic artist. Instagram was a little easier but still a bit difficult. And then I believe on Tumblr it was a little difficult. I had to put I'm not a professional artist, one of my slogans that I used for the sarcastic artist, because somebody already had the sarcastic artist. So yeah, that was just and it bothered me more so than I wanted to admit. And I kept wondering, should I just rename myself? But I was like, I didn't want to go through the hassle. But it was really becoming time consuming and quite confusing when I finally want to set up my sticker and print shop to write a business card or a business sticker that I'm thinking of, and have to keep changing the social handles when I put it on the final piece, if that makes sense. It's an obstacle that I wanted to avoid, and I wanted to make it easier for my audience. The second reason for the change is I wanted something more creative and unique. As much as I love my sarcasm and I love the name sarcastic artist, it was just time for a change. And I didn't feel like the name really embodied my art anymore, or it wasn't, it wasn't unique enough. Like I said, a lot of other people already had the sarcastic artist, already had the sarcastic artist or sarcasm art or sarcastic art, stuff like that. And it pulled me away from realizing just, as much as I loved it in the past, it wasn't as unique and creative as I wanted it to be. And when I looked over all these other artists that I admired and I followed like on YouTube and Instagram, I realized one of those things that pulled me towards their work and their materials and their products was their unique names that they came up with. And I wanted to feel like I had that uniqueness, and every time I looked at my name I realized that I didn't get that spark that I got when I looked at their names and stuff. So I wanted something that really fit me a lot more than the sarcastic artist did now. The third reason why I decided for a change, and this is one of the main ones. Like all things in this world, change comes eventually, and that includes my art. My art changed drastically from when I first started, like lots of other artists. Back in college, when I went back into my art and I started taking art classes, I wasn't an art major at all, but I started taking art classes and I really got into bone structure and dance, looking at the form and bodies of people, and that's what I drew into. And as most college students know, college is quite tiring and overworking. And so I put a lot of that emotion into my art. So there's a lot of somberness in my old art, a lot of body movement, beautiful but very, very like dark in terms of color and medium, like charcoal, and I used some Conte, I believe it's called Conte, red Conte, a little bit of pastels but not really. And I used to draw on these dark materials like I believe it was a dark brown cloth and stuff like that. And then I evolved from that after college to going more into harsh lines of drawings, characters, getting into full bodies, not just main bodies. I started practicing faces and stuff. And my color range was very different. It was kind of all over the place because I couldn't really think of colors. As I said in numerous videos, I'm not very good at coming up with a color palette. So that was another thing. And then I moved on to, if you see on my Instagram, the browns, the different neutral tones of browns. And I was really into that. But I realized that didn't really speak to me after a while too. I thought that's something that I wanted to stick with, and it wasn't at all. And so basically what I'm saying is that my personality, my attitude towards my art changed over time, like lots of other artists. But I went through the somber stage in college, to drawing bodies, to digital harsh lines, to neutral browns, and now I'm at the stage of pinks, different hues of pinks and bright colors, which I never thought that I'd be doing. But my art is a lot more positive and bubbly, and I have so many more ideas of characters that I want to make. And this is the main, and I've never been this happy drawing what I draw. And I just realized that my name, The Sarcastic Artist, wasn't really flowing with my attitude towards my art anymore, and I wanted something that fit my art a lot better. So with that, why Creative Potato? So as I'll put on the screen, or have already put on the screen, I'm not sure because I'm pre-recording this, I went through a lot of rebranding ideas. I didn't want to just throw something out there and then I hate it later on. So with the Creative Potato, my best ideas nowadays come from when I'm being lazy in my bed, or relaxing, or just being lazy in general, because my mind gets to wander a lot, and that's when my best ideas kind of sprout out. And so as the saying goes, couch potato. And fun fact, I did have a bit of a secret Instagram. I still have it. I just don't post on there. But I called myself a productive potato. And while that's not original, I was like, well, I really want to embody that more in my art now, because I really think that signifies me as an artist, and I'm very creative. So I actually first came up with Creative Potato, and surprisingly nobody really had that on Instagram. But I realized Creative Potato didn't really, the sound wasn't really getting me of the title altogether. And so I experimented with different ways that I could say creative or be creative. And so through trial and error and asking some of my closest friends that I knew wouldn't leak out this information, and my family members, I came down with Creative Potato. One, the name is very cute to say, and 2, it's creative and potato together, and I feel like it's very fun the way I spell potato. I get to play around with the E's and flip them over, which everybody loved that I showed to. And then in my branding, I also get to draw a potato whenever I want. This was one of the main reasons why I didn't post anything for New Year's, or that I didn't, well, actually the reason why not only did I not post for New Year's, but I didn't post on any of my social channels at all, except for like a sketch or something, because I've been working on this for a long time on how to rebrand, and it wasn't ready yet by New Year's. I've been working on like ways of how to make it. Like, I didn't know how I was going to announce how I wanted to, why I rebranded and stuff like that. So I was like asking my closest friends and asking my family, like, how should I go about this? And that took a while. And I also wanted to make sure my audience knew that one of the big issues that I knew was going to come about was my characters that I'm working on. I am still working on the Pretty Boys collection. That isn't going to stop. It's just a really long process, as I keep repeating in different videos. But I also want to reassure that my character, the Sarcastic Bear, is still going to stay. Surprisingly, a lot of people love the Sarcastic Bear. They love the stickers. They love the different clothes changes and stuff like that. I never planned on getting rid of the Sarcastic Bear. It's just that I'm going to be utilizing the Sarcastic Bear and adding more characters. And because of a lot of family emergencies and loss that I've experienced, I only had time to add an additional character, which is the Productive Potato. And like I said, the name isn't original, I know, but I have a lot of plans for this new character along with the Sarcastic Bear. I decided to try and record as much as I could, but like I said, a lot was done behind the scenes because I only had time to do it behind the scenes and not actually record what I was doing. So I tried my best with this video. So the Productive Potato is a new character that you're going to see a lot of. I had a lot of fun drawing him, her, I'm not sure yet, or they. Probably gonna go with they. So I had a lot of fun drawing them. I do plan on coming out with prints and sticker sheets, I should say, but I'm still working on those. Like I said, I had a lot of family emergencies and I had a loss in the family, and it's still a process, like currently right now, and it's still taking up a lot of time right now. I feel that my audience is still relatively small enough. I know my YouTube videos don't barely get any views at all, but like my other platforms, I have a lot of engagement and stuff like that, and I love talking to my audience. But frankly, I feel like my audience is still small enough to make a big change, and personally, I was tired and really wanted a change, and I thought instead of just randomly making a rebrand that I should wait until New Year's. I said, plus my birthday countdown starts once New Year's hit. My birthday is in 4 days, and I was thinking of whether I should post this, but then I started getting questions and stuff about, oh, why the name changed, and I was like, no, let's go ahead and get the video out already. So before I finish off, I do want to add that my YouTube plans have not changed. I still plan on posting on Fridays, even though I know this isn't Friday when this is posted. But I do plan on posting on Fridays. This is just a special edition. I used to say Fridays or Saturdays, but I think I'm going to make it mainly Fridays for vlogs. And then I'm thinking about doing time-lapse Saturday or speed draw Saturday, and then posting speed draws and time-lapses on Saturday. I'll see how that goes. That's still an idea in process because I'm not sure if I want to do that or like work with Buy Me a Coffee on that page. So with Buy Me a Coffee, I mentioned this on my previous video, but it is a platform that you can support me, you can follow me, you can become a member. But basically my free videos will consist of tips and tricks that I'll do, like a quick either a picture or a quick video, so people can look at it if they want to, if they follow me. There'll be small overall updates, about how I draw, some things, some insider things, updates on obstacles and accomplishments, things to look out for, products to look out for. And then as for the membership content, what I plan to do is, if you want, you can support me on a monthly basis, but I'll be adding like draw with me, so slower contents, because those are one of the requests that I've been getting on my Facebook is if I can show it step by step. The meager stuff is probably going to be like a $1 membership or $2 membership. So I also want to get into how-to content videos, and of course, like I mentioned before, behind the scene videos. And then eventually one day I want to get to making premium stickers for my big time members. But that's all I wanted to talk about. Thank you for taking the time to listen, and I hope this video was as enjoyable as I tried to make it with what little content I could grab together. But I did draw a lot. That I did take a lot of time to draw. It was just really hard to record as much as I could. But anywho, I hope you guys love the new name, because I do. I hope you love my new character, Productive Potato. Expect more characters, because I am working on more characters. I am still working on the Pretty Boys collection. That will be updated. I'll be updating on my social platforms about that, but especially buy me a coffee about that, because I want to start showing the behind the scenes. But anywho, I just thought I'd do a quick video, or well, not very quick. Thank you guys for watching. I appreciate you, and have a nice day.